Welcome back to Mystical Heart Tarot Readings. This is another, we're going to pick a pile. Today we're going to look at advice you need to hear right now. Advice you need to hear right now. We're going to start with this deck. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle them. Everything else has been shuffled. I just want to shuffle this one more time. And we'll pull 3 cards. So we're going to have 3 piles. All right. 1, 2, and this one wanted to come out, so that's 3. Let me put this deck of cards up out of the way. So I'm going to turn these cards over. You can look at them, see which one you're drawn to. If you're having trouble picking a card, I'm going to add crystals. The first one we have is Shadow. Shadow is the first card. The next card is Transmute. Transmute. And the last one is the Universe. So take a look at these 3 cards, and I see if you're drawn to any of them. If you're having trouble, I'll add a crystal to each one to possibly help you. And let's see, we're going to add this crystal. This is, excuse the dogs in the background. This is a snowflake obsidian point. We're going to add that to the shadow. This is a gold sheen obsidian. We're going to add that to transmute. And this one is a rainbow moonstone point. Yes, it does look similar, but it's not the same thing as the snowflake obsidian. This is a rainbow moonstone. So take a look at each one of these cards and crystals and see which one you're drawn to. You might be drawn to more than one pile, and that is okay. It is okay to be drawn to more than one pile. And while you're looking at those, I'm going to set the piles up. Let's start here with other oracle cards. Shh. I have 2 and 3. All right, and we'll set this deck of cards up here. And now we'll pull from the next deck. And this is about advice you need to hear right now. 1, 2, 3. And now for the last oracle deck. Let's get one from this deck for each pile. There's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to pull tarot cards. Now it's going to be the tarot cards. Two, 2, and 2. Get these out of the way. There's 2. And there's 2. And now for the last tarot deck. And these 2 wanted to come out, so you can go right there. All right. So take a good look at these piles. We have shadow, we have transmute, and we have the universe. We have snowflake obsidian, gold sheen obsidian, rainbow moonstone. Take a look, see which pile you're drawn to. If you're, like I said, if you're drawn to more than one pile, by all means, watch the reading for that pile. There's nothing that says you have to stick with just one pile. You can maybe be drawn to all 3 of them. So I'm going to move these out of the way so that I can start with pile number 1. And the snowflake obsidian. And we have shadow to go with that. Shadow. We have ocean, distance, and journey. We have spider, resilience. And I know a lot of you are afraid of spiders. I apologize. I can't help what cards come out. And here we have lover, light attributes, great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. The shadow attribute is obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. Remember, this is advice you need to hear right now. So we have the shadow card here, and this has shadow attributes. Before I even pull any of the tarot cards, before we even look at the tarot cards, perhaps you have a problem with somebody that is obsessed and has self-destructive devotion to you. And you will remain resilient and maybe put distance between you and that person. Let's see what tarot cards we get. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got the Magician. We've got the Two of Wands in reverse. We've got the Tower. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. And we've got the Eight of Cups in reverse. Advice you need to hear right now. So, looking at this, we have a Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, nurturing energy, sincere. This particular queen doesn't have the dogs in the picture. The Magician makes things happen. The Magician makes things happen. The Two of Wands in reverse. This could be a conflict in your feelings. It could be a conflict in your feelings in how you're feeling. Here we have there's two people on this particular card that are falling from grace. Two people that are falling from grace. This Seven of Pentacles. You're reflecting on the things that you have in your life. You're reflecting on the things you have in your life. And perhaps you may have lost focus of people you're connected to. You're reflecting on your life. You don't want to be one of these people that are falling from grace. I feel like there is somebody that is nurturing you, perhaps helping you, and they have all the skills that it takes. To help you to keep from falling from grace. And as I said, we have the shadow here. Somebody, perhaps more than one person, may be obsessed over you. And it causes self-destruction. Self-destruction would be them falling from grace. And I feel like there's somebody here that's helping you, that's nurturing you. Perhaps you had to turn your focus away from whoever this is right here and reflect on what you have in front of you. And perhaps you had to put distance. Perhaps you've had to distance yourself from I'm going to say it's more than one person. Perhaps you've had to distance yourself from two people, at least two people. You have the ability. You have the resilience. You have the resilience. So, pile number one, what I would say is look to this queen that's nurturing you. Look to that queen. I feel like this queen is the light attribute that is devoted to you and cares about you and doesn't want you to fall prey to whoever this is that's falling from grace. And perhaps this queen is telling you to distance yourself from these people. And to reflect on it. Reflect on what you see. Reflect on this obsession. Because whoever's obsessed is going to fall from grace. Whoever it is that is obsessed is going to fall from grace because they are in the shadows. The shadows. And I would give one little more piece of advice, and I may do this for all the piles because we are in the retrogrades. Most importantly, ground yourself and meditate. So, pile number 1, advice you need to hear right now is listen to this nurturing queen, whoever she is. She is giving you the wisdom that you need to avoid these people because they are going to fall from grace. They are the shadow. They may be obsessed with you. And it's causing self destructive devotion. The self destruction is them falling from grace. So the advice is to follow the guidance of this queen, the Queen of Wands, that is nurturing you, that has the wisdom and the skills. You have the resilience. To boost your resilience, I also advise grounding and meditating. As for the crystal, this crystal, this snowflake obsidian, is good for emotional healing. And perhaps whoever this is that is falling from grace, that was obsessed with you, may have hurt you. And this snowflake obsidian assists in emotional healing. So that is the advice I have for you. Pile number 1 is to listen to this nurturing queen. She knows what she's talking about. You are resilient, but you also don't know we all need to ground ourselves and we all need to meditate. Because for somebody, it's going to fall from grace. All right, pile number 1. Time to move on to pile number 2. All right, pile number 2. We have one that's called transmute. Transmute means to change. Transmute means to change. And you've got the gold sheen obsidian. All right, let's get the rest of these. Old woman, sadness, female. Let me see if I can move these up so you can see them. Iguana, communication. Victim, the light attribute, prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. The shadow attribute is playing the victim for positive feedback in a form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. So we have transmute, which means to change. What's throwing me off is this old woman with sadness, female. Change and communicate with this old woman, perhaps. Let's see what the tarot cards say. We've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Queen of Cups in reverse. Oops. Let me get I've got to get a crystal to cover this card. Where'd my little piece of paper go? I lost my little piece of paper. Give me 1 second. I got to cover this card. Oh, there it is. Oops. Sorry about that. We have the Lover's card in reverse. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune upright. We have the Six of Cups in reverse. All right. Let me look at these. The Six of Pentacles. So perhaps there is some unrest in some part of your life. Perhaps somebody that you thought was a true partner. Now, when I say partner, it doesn't have to be any type of romantic relationship. It can be a business partner. That's just an example. But since it's sitting next to the Lover's card, this could be somebody you consider to be a friend. But they're not a true friend. Because you've got the Lover's card here that's telling you have to make a choice when it comes to friendships. Because somebody, well, most likely this Queen of Cups, lacks integrity. And by making this choice, perhaps to let go of this person that lacks integrity and is not a true friend, your luck will change. However, your luck will not change when it comes to other people you have connections to. So here you're being told you need to make a choice when it comes to friendships. Perhaps you need to make a change. Perhaps people you're surrounding yourself with are not right for you. Change, transmute, means change. Wheel of Fortune is a change. You're being told to change. Take a closer look at the people you're surrounding yourself with because they are causing you problems in your life. They're causing you problems in your life. And those problems could be communication problems that you're dealing with. I don't have any swords on the board. The only thing that is telling me about communication in this case is this iguana card. So perhaps, how does this old one fit in? Perhaps this is the person, this sad and this, it says old woman. She's sitting on a bench by herself. And perhaps she's feeling sad because doesn't have people around her. However, you don't want people around you that don't have your best interest at heart, that lack integrity. Now, this is all about advice you need to hear right now. So, if you're in this position, if you are feeling like others are playing with your feelings and your emotions, then that's when you need to get rid of them. The light attribute, it prevents you from letting yourself be victimized. So, in order to prevent yourself from being victimized, you have to make a choice. And that choice is to let go of people that lack integrity because they are causing problems in your life. They are causing problems in your life. You need to set boundaries. You need to set boundaries. You need to communicate the boundaries. You need to communicate the boundaries so that you don't fall victim to these people. And by letting go, making the choice to let these people go because they lack integrity, you will have a change. A change will come for you, and it'll be a change for the better. You won't be sitting there in sadness, feeling like a victim. Perhaps you're feeling like a victim because you failed to put up personal boundaries. And this is advice that you need to hear right now. And the advice that I'm pulling from this is communication, setting up boundaries. Setting up boundaries with others, because if you don't, you're going to fall victim. They may look for the positive feedback in the form of pity. These that you disconnect from, because they might feel like because you're setting boundaries, they might be feeling like you're slighting them. But you have to communicate clearly the boundaries. And if you're disconnecting from them, you're making a choice to disconnect because they lack integrity. You won't be a victim. You won't be a victim. Change will happen, and it'll be change for the better. So your advice is to communicate boundaries, number one. And the other advice is to disconnect from people that lack integrity. Now, the crystal that we have for this particular pal is the gold sheen obsidian. The gold sheen obsidian. This gold sheen obsidian dissolves negativity. It dissolves negativity. This is a palm stone. It's one you hold in your palm. This is what a palm stone looks like. Okay, pile number 2. The advice is to communicate and also to set boundaries and to disconnect from people that lack integrity. Okay, pile number 2. That is the advice I have for you. And of course, ground yourself and meditate as well, because that's always a good thing to do. Put that piece of paper up there so I have it in case I get another card I need to cover. All right, next up is pile number 3. Pile number 3 is up next. Pile number 3 is the universe with the rainbow moonstone. The rainbow moonstone. And it's a point. It's a rainbow moonstone point. We can move that over a little bit. All right. Here we have flowers, romance, and sweetness. Sunflower, nourishment. Well, that goes with this one. This one has flowers, and this is sunflower. And we have alchemist, light attribute, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. The shadow attribute is misuse of the power and knowledge that comes through spiritual practice. Okay, let's look at the tarot cards. The Six of Swords, the Justice card, the Seven of Wands, the Strength card, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and the Knight of Cups. So again, we're looking for advice you need to hear right now. And I need to take a drink of tea because I'm thirsty. All right. Advice you need to hear right now. So we have the Six of Swords where you're moving away, you're getting away from a situation. Perhaps you heard something, a truth come out. Perhaps you heard a truth come out. Or you want to bring balance into your communication. And the only way you can do that is to move away from a situation. This Seven of Wands is telling me that you're having to build a wall up to protect your heart. And the Strength card tells me you have the courage and you have control. You have control. This Three of Pentacles in reverse, this tells me that perhaps somebody is trying to destroy some part of your life because of jealousy. Because of jealousy. Let's see what we have here. We have the universe. And there's a hand there with strings attached to it, as if the universe was a puppet on a string. So we're looking for advice here. Perhaps you're dealing with somebody that is jealous, that is threatening to destroy some part of your life. And maybe you're trying to get away from this situation to bring balance back into your life. You build a wall to protect your heart. You take control of the situation. Perhaps what you do perhaps there's no reason for this jealousy. Maybe it's just because of things that were said. And maybe you just need to get away for a little bit. But what you need to do is maybe nourish this person. Reinforce the fact there's no need to be jealous. There's nothing to be jealous of. And that's why you're taking control of the situation. Because you want this person to know there's nothing to be jealous of. And perhaps you offer up flowers. And if the flowers do not work, then you have to protect yourself. Maybe you're needing guidance from the universe on this situation. On one hand, you want to try to bring balance in, and you want this person to know there's nothing to be jealous of. But perhaps this person doesn't get it. Perhaps you need to put some distance between yourself and this person and offer up that if they want to be in a relationship, you have to have base motives and goals that are true goals. You can't be misusing. You can't be misusing the illusion of flowers to nourish this relationship. You have to put true intent into it. Truth. But you, in the process, you're protecting your heart. You have true intentions, but perhaps this person does not. So, what we're looking at today is advice you need to hear right now. If you are dealing with somebody that's jealous, and it's somebody, and this would be, it could be just a friend. It doesn't have to be somebody that you're romantically related to. This could be just a friend. but you want to nourish it, but also make sure you put distance there because you don't want them to misuse or misread what your goal is. Your goal is to not have them jealous and not destroy some part of your life. But if they are misusing their power and their knowledge about you, then the only thing you can do is put distance between you and them. And put up a wall and protect your heart. And ask the universe for help and guidance. But I feel like you have the courage. You just need to move forward. You need to move forward here and communicate it. Communicate it with truth. Communicate your goals and your motives with truth so that there is no misunderstandings. And if this person continues to be jealous, then you need to disconnect from this person because they are out to destroy some part of your life. This person will misuse power and knowledge they have about you. So the advice is make sure that whoever this jealous person is knows your goals, knows your motives, and knows that your goals and your motives are true. They're true goals, they're true motives. There's nothing hidden. If this person does not believe that and they take anything that they have and they know about you, any knowledge they have on you, and misuse that knowledge, then you need to disconnect and move away. Move on. Move on from that person. Because if they're going to misuse knowledge that they have about you, then they're not the person for you. Whether they be a romantic relationship or just a friendship, they're going to try to destroy some part of your life. But you've got the strength and you've got the control to not let that happen. So the advice is make your intentions, your motives, your goals when it comes to a relationship with this person known. If they continue to be jealous, then the next advice is to distance yourself. Distance yourself from this person because they're going to take whatever knowledge they have and try to use it against you. But you have the power, you have the control to not let that happen. And now we're going to look at the crystal, the rainbow moonstone. So in this case, this releases stress. This person could be stressing you out. This will release stress. This rainbow moonstone point. Okay, my pile number 3. Give them your clear intentions. If there's still jealousy taking place, distance yourself. That is the advice. And also put up a wall, protect your heart, and take control of the situation. And like I told pile 1 and pile 2, ground yourself and meditate. I send much love and many blessings to everybody. As always, I'll see you back next time. Have a wonderful day.